Shine, wakey, wake. Shine, little bitch. I need your money. Where's the money? Money. For what? You know what? All I know is I'm not going to sit here another day.
Spring break.
How are we going to get enough money?
I don't
in
know.
time?
We're the only ones still here. Spring break.
I'm tired of seeing the same thing.
Spring break.
It's your chance to see something different.
Spring break.
Just get that cash.
Pretend like it's a video game. We can do this. Spring break.
So you guys saw Spring Breakers. I have not seen it, but I am Aaron. I'm here with Matt.
Hi.
And Jackson.
Hello.
And you guys saw this film, what do you call this, an indie darling? That's what everybody's been referring to it as, but I don't know exactly what that qualifies as. But how would you guys describe this film?
Jackson?
It's a film that takes a lot of thought.
It is one of the films that I have had to struggle the most to put my responses into word. First off, it's great. You need to see it. Even if you don't know if you're going to hate it or love it or wherever you're going to fall, you need to see the film. I think it needs to be seen to have any kind of opinion on it, which I know everything does, but you'll know what I mean when you go. It's hard to talk about, but we will attempt to. I wouldn't call it an indie darling, though, because I'd never say those words.
All right, well, what's the plot of this movie?
Spring break.
So a bunch of girls from... Where are they from? Jackson, do you know? I don't know.
The Disney Channel?
Somewhere in the South, like a small rural town, decide that they want to go to spring break. So they get the money by hook or by crook and head down to Florida for spring break, where they get entangled with drugs and parties and James Franco in cornrows playing a gangster rapper.
James Franco's so good.
Chaos ensues.
Yeah, that's it. That's basically the plot.
All right. Who was it that directed this film again?
Harmony
Korine, yeah.
Yeah.
Of Gummo, Trash Humpers, and the writer of Kids fame.
Would you say that anyone who has not heard of those movies would enjoy this film? Because he is a specific taste kind of guy.
I have not seen any of those other movies, and I really enjoyed this film.
All right.
I think that if you are okay being very uncomfortable and being challenged by a film, Spring Breakers will do it with aplomb.
Yes.
All right. Well, what does this movie do right? What do you like about it?
It's beautifully shot. It
is incredibly shot.
Looks amazing. Talking technically for a bit first, the editing is phenomenal. It's almost like just a 90-minute montage is kind of what it feels like. The things it does with out of order shots and multiple takes of the same actual scene in different locations, it just creates this perfect mood throughout, which is equal parts unsettling and beautiful, and yeah, it's stunning.
You'd say that that's all just the specific way it's shot? Would you say that that's like in terms of like cinematography, or would you say in terms of like how the director moves the story along?
Oh, both. It's really well crafted to put you in a specific mood. Basically, the opening shot that cuts from spring break partying like crazy to bored teenagers getting high watching My Little Pony is fantastic. Just this great juxtaposition, and you just through no dialogue, you really get a sense of the place and the plot and the story in just moods.
Or even more on point, church prayer groups.
Oh,
and spring beer spewing, spring break partying.
Oh,
lots of twerking and topless girls.
Yep.
Well, it sounds like you guys are talking a lot about this being one of those films that is just really gorgeous to look at, and like just the art style of it. What about the story itself? Like, does the story, how would you describe like the ins and outs of it? Like, I know what the plot is, but like, how is the story conveyed? Like, is it done well? Is it?
The thing that I want to impress about Spring Breakers, because on the surface it seems very of the moment. Skrillex did the soundtrack. It's shot like a music video in many ways. It is the age-old generational teenage nihilism as a means of self-discovery tale, writ large. And that's what I like about it. It's not about Spring Break. It's about this idea teenagers have that they are invincible and that by indulging in their worst impulses they will learn truths about the universe, that I think everyone goes through that phase. And I feel like that film represents the arc of the rise and fall of that idea really beautifully.
Jackson, you're taking notes on this, right?
What? Yeah,
No.
yes.
It was a joke about how teenagers just indulge in nihilism, and you're the only teenager here. So
Yes, yes, I shall
yeah,
go and be
Matt and I have
nihilistic.
already gone through our nihilism teenage phase. But yes, so Jackson, would you agree about that? So it's not really so much a movie about the story, but as much as the message and like.
Oh yeah, it's got this coming of age kind of finding yourself thing, but it's really super aware about that. So straight up, first 10 minutes, one of the characters, that is their aim. They are going in with that intention, and it's kind of clever about that. It doesn't just, oh, they go to spring break and then they find themselves. It's not that bullshit. It knows what it's doing as an awareness, and then at some point it just turns into this really interesting study on power. There's this just excellent scene on a bed with guns, and that's all I'll say about it.
Especially in ways of media portrayals of violence
Yep.
and gender roles and even race. The movie bites off a lot and handles it all incredibly well.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, Aaron, have you seen Boogie Nights?
Yeah.
Okay, you know the scene where they're in the apartment with Alfred Molina, and they have that dawning realization that they are in way over their heads?
Uh-huh.
That is this entire movie. Just
Oh, wow.
sitting on that couch and realizing that whatever choices you made have led you in the wrong direction.
So it's a story about fucking up, basically, is what this movie's about.
Yes.
Yes.
Fundamentally.
Holy shit.
So
I hate
anyone-
admitting I kind of like those movies. I want to see this now.
it's fantastic. It is by far the best thing I've seen this year. Which
You mentioned,
short list, but
Oh, sorry.
go ahead. No, I'm done now.
Oh, you mentioned the shit. How did I forget his name? Harry Osborn's great in this movie. You say
James Franco, yes.
thank
As
you.
someone who feels like James Franco has been phoning in his overexposure for the past several years, I was incredibly impressed by his turn as Alien.
Alien. I know he's called Alien, but I call him Alien. Why y'all acting suspicious?
It is the ugliest, most brutal role. Yeah, the idea that this is James Franco, for a very small generation, he is something of a heartthrob, playing this awful, terrible human being. I hope that this is one of his career-defining performances, because he's amazing in it.
Yeah.
Everybody has been saying, even the people who don't like the movie have been saying that he's amazing in it. What about the other people in it? Who else is starring in this film? Wasn't it like Selena Gomez or like some of the Disney people?
So you have Selena Gomez of Disney Channel fame and Vanessa Hudgens, also of Disney Channel fame. You have Rachel Corrine, who is Harmony Korine's wife, who does not look like she could be the wife of anyone, but is of age, so it's not that creepy. And then Ashley Benson, who is from Pretty Little Liars, which
I
I
know
have not
that show.
seen.
I've seen
That's a network show that appeals to a certain demographic.
it appeals to my
and
sister, so yes.
That I think that it's amazing that all of these actresses decided to do this movie, and I feel sorry for their fan bases who go into this unaware. Because this is
It's
definitely
like the Twilight kids walking out of Cosmopolis, basically.
Yes, absolutely. That is not an inapt comparison. I feel like Selena Gomez, being the youngest, has gotten the most press, and she really is probably the weakest link of the movie. And it is obvious that she is not, either she chose or is not allowed to do as much as the other ones, so she is kind of sidelined in short order. I will say Vanessa Hudgens, who I did not think had any acting talent, surprised the hell out of me in this movie, because she's great. She is one of the two main girls, let's say, her and Rachel Corrine, who make it make it furthest in the story. I'll just put it that way.
Gotcha. Shit, I'm trying to think of anything you haven't really covered yet.
The thing
was
I
there
want to
anything
say, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The thing I want to say is that I feel like in a climate where everyone gets up in arms the minute, especially for people like us, gets up in arms anytime someone wants to equate violent media and kids doing violence. I think this movie handles the nebulous reality of that situation better than anything I've seen.
It's a great issue.
Because there are explicit sequences where the characters in the movie refer to what they're doing as being like a video game, and in fact the movie in one or two sequences devolves into a Saints Row or Hotline Miami style sequence.
And that sequence itself is handled beautifully in the way it's shown initially and then flashback to.
Yes.
Just the juxtaposition between how you see that from multiple angles is phenomenal.
I think that this is a movie that absolutely has to be seen. I cannot recommend it enough if you are willing to go into a movie that is not going to coddle you or care if you like it.
Yep.
It's not easy
That's
cinema.
One of my favorite expressions. I know exactly what you mean, but yeah, that's one of my favorite expressions because it's always one of those like, oh, you didn't like it? I don't give a shit what you did. I'm telling it like it is. It's like we don't get that many movies like that, and yeah, they're not for everybody, but I do think that you are saying out very clearly who the audience for this film is.
Yeah. Highly recommended.
All right. Well, what do you guys give it?
I'm going to go with 5 stars.
5 stars. Straight up.
All right. Excellent. Well, I have no outro for this because I have not seen the film.
Okay, Jackson, let's do this.
Let's do this. Go.
Spring break. Spring break. Forever. This does not work on Skype.
You guys have a massive time lapse between you two. It's not.
I'll
fix it in post.
No.
I'll fix it in post. Actually, no, I won't. I'll leave in me saying I'm going to fix it in post. All right.
Yeah. No, that's the right answer.
Y'all want to die tonight?
Spring break. Get down! I'm scared, aren't you?
Spring break forever.
Spring break forever, bitches.
My loneliness